All right, so I'm going to open the meeting. This is the Thursday, September 19th, 2019 meeting of the Lakeville Police Station Building Committee. We're meeting again in our new police station, which is a great thing. Happy to be here. Our first order of business, is anyone taping the meeting other than Lake Cam? No one is taping the meeting. If they are doing it illegally. First order of business after that is to approve our meeting minutes for 8:15. A copy of these have been provided. Anybody have any comments, questions, edits for the draft meeting minutes?
I make a motion to approve the August 15th, 2019 meeting minutes as written.
Second.
All right. Any further discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor? Aye. The second order of business is the budget update. I'm going to turn that over to Taylor.
All right, great. Yeah, I'll jump right into our budget update here. It's budget update 17. Looks like this in your packet. So you look at the top, the first item there, general construction. I added in our last change order, everything that was approved at last meeting, change order 14. So that shows the addition highlighted in yellow there. That's the full amount to date that we've had in change orders. And then if you move down to item 17, I've reduced this amount. We didn't use any legal fee monies. So this is a savings that it goes back into the contingency. So there's a savings there of $5,000. And then item 31, move costs. We just used a small portion of those move costs. So everything that's left in that line, again, goes back into the contingency. So if you go down to line 37, you have in your changes and then your savings, it shows our contingency right around $350,000 at this point, closed out.
All right. Anybody have any questions about that?
Are there change orders pending then?
So I have, if you want to go to the change order log. So if you go to the last page, there's 3 open. The first one, number 60, that is one we've rejected. It's for $1,500. The electrical contractor wanted additional money on some work that he did on the floor boxes. We felt that it's in the contract, so we rejected it at this point. 62 was caulking a handrail that was requested by DPH. There was some small holes for drainage in the handrail, the detention equipment. They wanted it caulked, so we had to caulk that. So that's the price you see there. And then the floodlights to the parking, I actually just got from Norm right before I left. And this was a request by the PD to shine some light on the ball field parking over there. And that is a price of $4,495.51. So those are the only 3 open change orders at this point that I have.
So, do you know what the scope of the lights are then for that money?
Yeah, I believe it's to install 2 spotlight style fixtures to our poles that are up here already. So it utilizes the same circuits. It's really just the new fixtures and the labor to install those. And again, that's full number is $4,495.51.
Oh, Rich?
Is that, are they gonna be on all the time? Or just activation?
I do not know the answer to that. Let me see if, I believe they were to be on at night all the time, but I can confirm that.
Are the other ones on a timer, Sean?
Yeah.
And what is the time on those?
They're sunset, dusk to dawn.
Dusk to dawn?
Yeah.
Is that what you would anticipate the use for these as well?
Yeah, for the safety issues, yes.
Yeah, okay. Get another set?
Yeah, it doesn't say the timing, but I would assume it would be
Probably on
dusted
the same
on.
circuits, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it would be running on the same circuits as your lights that are there now, so you're right, so it would be dusted on.
It's like that joke about not RSPVing for the wedding, you have to bring a chair and a sandwich.
Yeah.
You kind of just show up.
Cheat off the payment.
Okay. All right,
Do you have any issues with?
thanks, Taylor.
Park skies? I think from a public safety perspective, I think that we have to do that. The cost is a little more than what I would anticipate.
Right.
After the fact.
It's coming from Griffin, it's after the fact, it's them sending, 2 guys out here. The labor is $1,400, the material's $1,400, and there's a small markup, so.
Are you surprised by that, Nate?
No.
So you said 1,400 and 1,400? That's 28.
Yeah, and that's just Wayne Griffin's number. And then you have the markup that Norm puts on his, the overhead and profit.
And you go from 28 to 45?
It goes from 3,300 to 44. Because Norm has some supervision here during that time.
All right, any other questions, comments?
Any feedback from the Parks Department?
No. Of course, we didn't ask them, but.
I spoke to them about it.
Oh, you did?
Lighting
Okay.
up the field, they were fine with it, and they were fine with the fencing as well, the guide rail.
Sure, yeah, we had discussed that at the last meeting with it. Well, maybe I'm jumping around. When's that going in, the guardrail?
Norm's been trying to schedule it, he hasn't been able to get his fence guys
Yeah,
back, so.
okay.
But that's been pushed ahead, so.
So Taylor, did Pomeroy are you guys making a recommendation for that?
Yes, if it's something that the facility wants to move forward with, I didn't see any issues with it.
I mean, we might be able to save a little bit going with a third party, but with Griffin doing all the electrical and just being part of it, being the responsible party, we might as well keep them with that. I'd make a motion to accept the change order as per.
Change order number 63, Nate.
Number 63.
Yeah.
I know you don't have the papers in front of you.
What's the amount?
$40,495.51.
Yes.
I'll second that.
All right, any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
And if we could just get a vote on number 62 as well, the caulking for the detention handrails and approval for that, then we can get both these in the final change order. That was for $812.06.
So moved.
I'll second.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
So that's it for our change orders. That should be the last one. The last one that comes from construction, so, I don't,
With regards to the change orders, we did have a meeting in here the other day, and when Lake Cam finally sets up the cameras, we had talked about having like an on-air light. Has there been any, would we still be taken out of this? And an on-air light is a good thing to have, I think, for when the cameras are operating. I don't know what anybody else's feelings are on that.
I support that.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think we had discussed that quite some time ago, and if we didn't vote on it, I'm sure that it was more or less a unanimous consensus that we need to have not only an on-air light, but a way to cut that signal.
We've done that.
So
yeah, that's it,
So-
yeah.
We have the ability to disable. I just don't want to get too far in this process before we actually get some kind of notification of the cameras being on. So in the event that that's on, we were going to have a light somewhere in here that when dispatch switched the switch on, it turned the light on in here showing that the switch was in fact active.
Yep.
So I don't know if that's something we want to look at. If Griffin, it was my understanding we can't tie into anything panel related, right, or avoids the warranty from Griffin. So Griffin has to do the wiring inside the building.
Yeah, that first year, you'd want it to do it anyway.
I wouldn't imagine, though, that would be the best way to do it. I would think, and I may be wrong, but because I don't know logistically how it works, but wouldn't the signal be on all the time? And then it would be shut off at the discretion of the department for training and certain,
I mean, it's gonna be just the
would it-
opposite. I think
it's the opposite, it was off all the time.
And when the room's utilized, it'll be turned on.
They can turn it on, I see, all right.
So I mean, if they made, the receptacles are in the camera locations in the corners of the room. So
Yep.
I didn't know if, if there's a light that plugs in and then you plug the equipment into that, it'll show that the equipment's live, or if we do.
Yeah, I don't know enough about video equipment,
Well,
but
that's what I was thinking too.
maybe
is
Jose can,
With, like this
recommend
camera, for
something.
example, there's a red light on.
Right.
And when that red light is not on, it's not recording. That's pretty much the gist of it, right?
Yeah.
So you would think that you would want to have a similar thing where maybe, there's a red light, like they used to have, if you ever been to a taping of a TV show or filming of a TV show, it says, it indicates that they're rolling, that their stuff is active. But Rich, did you have
I
a
would
comment?
suggest that you talk to Lake Cam, because they haven't put the cameras in here yet, right?
No.
no.
Right.
So they're gonna be putting the cameras in, they're gonna be connecting them up. Maybe there's a way with the camera, when the camera is activated, it turns it on. So you
Yep.
don't have to go through dispatch, because I would
Right.
think it's gonna be expensive to get from there to here.
I agree. I bet you there's probably a box or something simple, a switch of some kind that can activate a light.
Yeah.
When the red light's on,
Right.
you know,
I mean,
you're
just
being
like you said
recorded.
on that camera, it has a red light.
Yep.
So they know it's active.
Yeah, I'm
Okay,
sure that
so
there's all kinds of products
With
that,
the cameras, I don't know where they're even going. I assume they're going on the corners, if I remember correctly, but,
yep.
so I think, talk to Lake Cam about that first.
Yeah. I'll reach out to Jose and.
Yeah.
Yeah, that should be a pretty simple thing, but I think it's a necessary thing. I think it's yeah, I mean, you want to have an indication when things are hot or not. So,
Any questions on change orders? Moving on to the closeout action log. Just have a couple things here that we can go over. First one's 4 and 5. This is the interior and exterior punch list. They're done. For lack of a better word, the last part that needs to happen is Brian just needs to come back and walk through and check off that everything that was on his list is done. So I'm not aware of anything major that's open at this time. So Brian's, once he's back from vacation, he's gonna coordinate time to come out and review those. Same with MEP punch list as well.
Was the caulking issue in the corners of the building addressed?
The caulking was, yes, the
Yes.
caulking's done.
Okay.
What we talked about before was maybe painting it, getting a price to
Oh,
paint it,
okay.
yeah. So the caulking is
So
done.
the caulking is done.
Correct. 13, this also kind of lays in Brian's court at this point, but all closeout documents have been submitted. Brian does a final check of those, and then once we get everything back from Brian, the town will get a copy, we get a copy, Brian keeps a copy, and I think what we talked about was 2 hard copies for the town and 1 electronic, so that you'll always have something on file. Our final DPH inspection, the first DPH inspection we had, there was 2 items that came up, the caulking of that rail, and then they wanted a welded piece to the bottom of the door. There was a part that they could tie off onto. Both of those were done by the contractor. The bottom part where they welded the additional piece of metal, they came back to do another inspection and they still found they could get a place to tie off to on there. So Norm is working on a solution to weld another piece of metal in there to make that issue go away. So I sent some pictures of the way that we did it in Dayton. This issue came up and we were able to weld a piece that worked. It was actually quite similar to what's there now, but for some reason they're not accepting what's there now. So they're working through that. They can still use the cells. They're still in compliance, but they just have to deal with that issue. Number 30, commissioning. The last section we're working towards is their final commissioning report. They were just waiting on some updated balancing information which came through this week. So once that's done, they'll be able to send their full report and sign off on everything. Grass, we all know the issue that we have with the grass. It actually is growing if you look out there. We're not paying any money towards it until it's done and accepted. So they did some weed kill. They're on a watering schedule, and we'll wait until it gets established. If it doesn't fully establish this fall, then they'll be on the hook for it next spring.
Rich?
Did they check out the irrigation system to make sure that it was functioning properly?
They did, yeah. And they found some areas that were leaking.
Okay.
Small leaks out front. Those were repaired last week.
Okay, thank you.
We might have found another one today.
Oh, okay.
We literally just found it.
Okay. Send me a picture or just, okay. That's odd. So you found it today?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're not sure if it's a leak, but it's,
All right, might be a head or something.
Yeah.
Okay. Follow up on that. 32, we did have one issue with a power loss to the AC unit in the IT room. It's supposed to kick on after a power loss, and there's a issue with, there's a delay, a 15-second delay with the unit that was having an issue coming back on once the power came back on. So the HVAC contractor has been back out here, looked at it. He made a switch to it so that if it does turn off and it doesn't come back on right away with the permanent power, that you can at least manually do it. And he showed the police how to do that so that we don't run into an issue with that room overheating. They have since made another change which should fix it. They had to get the manufacturer out here, so we have to just schedule a power loss coming up soon. And I want to do that when Brian's probably here, just to make sure it's working fine.
That seems, in Bridgewater, we had that same problem, and it continued and continued.
Yeah.
So I think it's something we need to stay on, because even though it's a manual, if they're busy in here and there's a power loss, we go to generator, and the dispatchers, they may not remember to flip it.
Absolutely.
So it's something we gotta keep an eye on.
Yeah, we've been working towards getting the solution. When I checked on it a few days ago, that they said they feel that it is working correctly now. They didn't want to turn off the power at the station without notifying anyone. So that's the next step.
Great.
And 33, ambulance height. So we had an issue with the ambulance pulling into the Sally Port. The floor there slopes towards a center drain there. When it goes in, it's fine. When it's coming out the other end, a bracket from the garage door is scraping the top of an ambulance. So if the air ride system is all the way down, it doesn't hit. So we're working with the manufacturer to provide some sort of different bracket there to get that up and out of the way. So all these things are covered under warranty. If anything else pops up, we've had a few other small items that have come up, and we've jumped on to get Norm to fix them. So that's why we have the warranty.
So far, since HVAC always seems to be a sore thumb in these buildings, how's it working as far as you know?
working very well. We did have an issue in dispatch as far as it being too cold in there. But I think that's,
Yeah, they
worked out.
ratcheted that back.
yeah.
Is that tied in though, Lieutenant, was that tied in to the server room?
It is at some point, but the ACs, the day we had the power failure and the
Right, right.
floor went out
Yeah.
upstairs, the ones in dispatch were still working.
Yeah.
So Gary was trying to figure out what that situation
That's
was.
important, that dispatch, that's gonna be the 24/7.
Right.
Bridgewater, we had that problem too.
They're
Hold on.
they're in there bundled up on the midnight shift wearing winter boots and sweatshirts.
Yeah, we gotta stay on that.
Yeah, those are the ones in dispatch stayed on. It was the one upstairs. And the way it was explained to me is that there's a built-in 15-second delay
Right.
in the unit, so that when power goes out, it's off for 15 seconds and comes back on. But because of the type of generator power we have kicking back on within 8 seconds, it's kicking on before that has a chance to
Oh.
reset itself. So they have to ramp up the time. It should reset itself to get ahead of that 8 seconds, so that when everything gets powered up, that gets powered up too.
Is there any way we can adjust that manually, the heat or the temperature in dispatch?
Yeah, to a few degrees.
They-
It's locked out a certain
They've got
temperature
5
range.
5 to 10 degree range.
Because that's important.
And they can also adjust the fan speed as well now, which they couldn't before.
So it's working pretty good.
Right now it is, yes.
Yeah, we'll keep an eye on that.
Yeah.
Because that could be an issue that goes on for a while.
Yeah, comfort's always a big
Yeah,
one. Getting,
especially dispatch because
yeah.
night shift.
Any further questions? That is really all I had. I was hoping this could maybe be our last meeting. I know you, but I know you have something too. But we could probably handle any future invoices. I can still put together my packages and send those to the group for everybody to review before anything's approved. Keep everybody updated of any, things that come up, but I didn't see a real need for all of us to continue to meet on a monthly basis, if that's acceptable.
I'd like to do one more, just,
Yeah, I was
there's a
gonna
lot
say,
of open
punch
issues
list,
here.
we haven't seen the punch list from Brian,
Yeah.
none of that's finalized yet.
Okay.
Even if it's not every month, maybe in 2 months, just to touch base.
Why don't I speak to Brian, find out when he can get out here, and once I have kind of all our information summarized, I'll schedule a meeting.
Okay, good.
I think that this charge is, or we've been extended through the end of the year. So I don't mind keeping it open for the sake of getting together at least one more time to hear where everything's at before we
Yeah, I agree.
close it out.
Yeah.
Stuff could pop up.
Yeah, so it's whatever time everything's, the punch list is done.
Yeah, so we'll make it TBD right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then once I find out from Brian everything's done, and then I can actually do another closeout to the budget. Because some of those items, I still don't think we'll use all the money in each one, so I think there's even still a few ratchet downs that I can do.
Okay, great.
I'm
Rich,
sorry,
did you have?
Just at that point, I believe at the last meeting, I wasn't at the last meeting, that the committee voted to have the three, I think these three right here, approve the invoices so they can get paid, which is fine with me, I don't have a problem with that. But the committee does have to approve the invoices in the end, as far as the project is concerned. So I just want to make sure that the invoices don't get held up, some people owed some money,
Yep. Yeah, so let's talk about that process. a
Yeah,
little
I
bit.
didn't, since our last meeting, I haven't processed anything. Everything to process is tonight. I'll hold anything until our next meeting unless somebody starts squawking, or I'll take a look at them and see how late they are. But Rich is right, you can have a smaller group approve them, but you just have to give the opportunity for the whole committee to take a look at them before they're approved, so.
So yeah, maybe you can work the logistics out with you guys in terms of, like, to Rich's point, if stuff comes in that needs to be paid, you can forward along to you guys and then make sure that we get a copy of what's being approved.
Yeah. I'll do it on kind of an as-needed basis, but,
because you still got some significant costs for the communications piece,
yeah, I just got
I mean, we're in
100.
the process of working on it, but, I'm not sure you want to hold them up for 60 days or something like that.
Yeah, I just gave him one for
Oh.
150, yeah.
150, so.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Yeah, they're gonna want
Really,
that.
that's anything that's held
Yeah.
back too. We held 8,000 back for the lawn, we held 2,000 back for Spillane's. I mean, those have to eventually be approved and released.
Yeah, I didn't even, in like tonight's grouping of invoices, I didn't even insert anything from Norm.
Yeah.
Just because I know there's outstanding stuff and I wasn't gonna approve anything tonight, so.
Okay, great. Did you have?
Yeah, I did. We've been having issues of people driving and walking in over this side, even with the signs up. They're coming in, some of them are parking.
You
and
say it like
sitting
you're
there.
surprised.
We didn't have a problem up the street.
Yeah, no.
I think there was only one way in.
No, there were two. But everybody's nervous that people are gonna start coming in and trying to access the building or the vehicles on that side.
Yep.
And we don't know if, maybe we can, I don't know about maybe the same type of fence, how much
Right.
that would be over there. If we put it, we were looking at it today, right along the outbuilding, coming this way.
Yeah, some sort of a gate.
Yeah, some type
yeah.
of gate
When you said it, I was thinking maybe it's just an arm.
or that.
Something just to show that, not to drive in there.
At the street
Arm's gonna
level?
be-
Yeah.
Yeah.
Arm's gonna be less
Well, we couldn't put it
expensive.
out at the street. It would
We'd have to be in a little bit, yeah.
I see. Yeah, however it
because
works.
we do access
Yep.
that side.
But a full gate would be, I can get the numbers of what they spent on that, but,
So
it's
how many people are
pretty
doing this?
expensive.
Over the last few days, at least 5. In the last couple of days. And it's been going on constantly.
Where are they coming in from, the tennis?
No, they're coming in.
No, from the exit only.
exit only.
The exit only.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We
Yeah,
actually,
where the big signs say.
with the big
do not
signs,
enter.
and we moved the signs down
Yeah.
today.
So maybe they see
Yeah.
the guys doing that.
Yeah.
Well, it says authorized vehicles only, so.
I mean, I think if you get 5 or 6 people doing it in a month or, you know, it's, eventually it's gonna wear off, I would hope. Let's go out and scream at them, but if there's a gate there and guys gotta get out of here quick,
Yeah.
somebody's gonna blow right through it.
Right, that's the other side of it. But it wouldn't hurt to look into it, though, just to see what our options are.
I can at least ask Norm what the
Is it-
price was over here.
You know, lots of times when you have new construction or something, there's temporary signs, maybe more significant signs.
And that's another
Flashing
option
LEDs
is,
or something for a few
Yeah.
months.
we've got the signs
This
right at the
picture.
end, we could put another set halfway up as well.
Yeah.
Go back.
Wrong way, go back.
Just past experience, if they're doing it now and put signs, it's not going to matter. They're gonna ignore it.
Yeah,
So
we don't
I think-
usually
I
see
think
it on the
we're
way
gonna-
out
Yeah.
because of the response time. Even though you are responding from the road, but if you were to
Yeah.
shoot out of there, they're typically not designed. I have seen what helps though is arrows on, pavement markings that just, they're pointed out. So when people go to pull in, oh crap, there's an arrow pointing out, so they at least see that on the ground, other than signs.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
when they do
so-
that, what do they do? Come in and just
They
turn
come
around
in,
and then leave?
some of them come in, turn around and leave, others park and sit there for a minute.
Oh,
Yeah. And then yesterday or today, 2 people walked in and were wandering around back there.
Put on the sign, you will be ticketed if you pull in the employee access.
So the pedestrians are a tougher
Yeah.
thing because there is no fence. I mean, I can walk wherever I want to, right?
Right.
Cars are one story.
So what would it take to expedite pavement marking? I like that idea. We just did it at Assawamsett with a one-way. And it seems to take, people pull out of one of the parking lots.
Yep.
They see that arrow going one way, they don't even think to go the other way. So,
Yeah.
maybe we could, and I have no idea what the number, but maybe we vote to approve a not to exceed $500 to get, a couple arrows out in the front.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, the town would get it cheaper than going through Norm or anything like that. If you want to just contact a local
Yeah.
pavement guy and get
Yeah,
some
I'm sure
arrows
that-
out there.
What is it for the hydrant?
That Franklin could figure that
Yeah,
out.
he has a line striping
He's
company
got a
that comes in.
contractor that does
They're
it.
pretty inexpensive. I mean, I could just go ahead and do that.
That's a good.
Yeah.
Because you're going to get markup from Norm and
You did the parking lot at the town hall, right? That's striped.
Yeah, it's all striped.
Yeah.
The arrows specifically are at the Assawamsett Elementary School, the whole way around the one-way.
Yeah, no, I went through there the other day. It looks great.
Yeah, they work
It's a
good.
great, I know exactly what you mean.
So how about additional signage for the pedestrians, pointing them to the front door?
Yeah, we can do that too.
Yeah, so they're
Main
cutting
entrance.
through, trying to look for a way in.
We don't know what they were doing.
Yeah.
There was nobody here, the dispatcher saw them.
Yeah.
a speaker up there, somebody just make an
Well,
announcement.
beside the arrows, maybe a do not enter right up front, big do not enter right across the road.
I was just going to say that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could stencil do not enter right there with an arrow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Before investing in a gate or something, I would try that.
Okay, yeah.
Just my opinion, but
And then if that doesn't work, they now have blinking signs.
yeah, they do.
The neighbors will love
They're not that expensive, but well, they'll only go on when you get there.
Like the speeding
I
ones.
thought about that.
Spikes.
We thought about those.
Then all the cruisers.
These guys go hardcore fast.
Because I know what's coming, it's gonna keep coming.
Yeah.
Signs that, but we can try.
Yeah, I'll speak to Franklin about it and see if I can get that. He'll know.
I think that'd be the easiest
It's a good first step.
route, yeah.
All right.
Any other issues?
Everybody happy?
Yeah, everybody's extremely happy.
Good.
And
There's a real good turnout.
the ribbon cutting was phenomenal.
It was.
With Dan Clark, the bagpipes, probably 300 people roughly?
Yeah, it was a good
Came
turnout.
A
through.
good turnout.
Yeah.
Yeah, I made the comment that Taylor was here with his wife and his kids. How old's your oldest?
He'll turn 3 next month.
Okay, and when we started this process, there were no.
I was still living the bachelor life. Now I'm running on fumes. Yep.
A long haul.
It's a long haul. It turned out great.
Yeah, it
It
has.
was a great project.
The glass in Booking Pods has been taken care
Yeah, I
of.
saw Cap Lops here the other day.
As well as the dispatch window.
Yeah.
So those are all set as well.
Yeah, those were on the punch, so those are taken care of. Good.
I guess we're still waiting for the evidence passed through.
Yes. And I got a text the other day, actually, about that.
When they wanted to deliver it.
It's probably another month out.
You can use what's there, though.
Yeah, we can. Yeah. Yeah.
Are we ordering more furniture for the lobby?
Yeah,
I don't
what's
think
the
so.
status on the chairs for the lobby?
I thought what's out there now is what Matt said he was gonna stick with.
Oh, okay.
2 chairs.
Yeah,
Two?
just leave it open.
It's not a lot.
We had 8 people in there the other night.
Standing around.
It wasn't pretty.
It incentivizes.
Sometimes too many cheese in the laundry doesn't work,
It-
especially at night.
Yeah.
There's certain
Yeah.
issues going on.
Yeah.
Too many or
That's the way
only
it
two?
is.
Too many chairs.
Oh, too many
Yeah.
chairs, doesn't,
Too many cheese.
I see.
Maybe the end of the month on the evidence lockers.
September or October?
September,
Okay.
maybe. So. And we already have used all 3 cells at once.
All right.
That's a really good-
During the day shift.
2 of the 3 were my relatives.
That'll be double work.
Oh, yeah, it was hectic.
That's good though, that's good.
It's a great setup though, they
Yeah,
can
it
put them
is.
in that pod, they don't have to
Yeah.
chill with them,
Yeah.
Excellent.
fantastic.
Yep. Yep.
Did you have one more thing, Rich?
No, it was the lobby. I
Oh,
was gonna
okay.
ask about the lobby too.
Okay, so we have to review and approve invoices. Has everybody had a chance to look at what was sent? Is this, is it these guys signing everything now? How's this working? That's how we had voted it, right?
That was,
Who do you need signatures from? These are marked.
well, that was voted for if we do it out of this group, so I would just continue the same process we've been doing
Okay.
for now, yeah.
Yeah, not that easy.
I was trying to get out of doing it, that's why I was asking. All right, so I'll go through these, and if anybody has any questions, we can answer them after I've gone through the list here. So this is for the approval of line item number 6, was architect and engineering construction for $3,500. We have number 12, commissioning agent for $5,000. 17 is furniture and furnishings, 8757.69. 18, dispatch console furniture, $74,534.72. 19 is integrated technology security system, that's for $13,054.69. Phone data systems, $1,403.95. 22 is miss loose equipment, AV, etc., $26,021.78. 23, communication equipment, radios, $136,238.51. 24 is the FD radio box upgrades, $90,147.25. 28 is the computer upgrades and VoIP recording, $5,770.65. 30, move costs, $3,193.07. So I move that we approve those.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor? Aye. Do we have anything else we want to talk about?
Yeah, I know Juan is off to a rough start, and I know we've spoken as a committee about possibly using the water from the parks and also possibly drilling our own well. And I think we need to stay engaged in that, because I'm not sure, have we gotten any water bills yet?
Yeah, we did.
Quarterly.
Yeah, we got a big one that I sent right to Norm.
It was like $3,000.
Yeah.
For 2 months.
It was for, yeah.
$1,500.
It was, well, he was here watering, trying to get everything
And
established.
obviously, we're trying to get something
Yeah.
established, so it's a little bit high, but it's not 10 times high.
Right.
Yeah.
If it continues on that, at that level, I still think we ought to, entertain putting a well in. I know Rich, with the library tied into the parks, but if we gotta put some money aside for repair and maintenance on the pumps and stuff like that, so.
So,
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, I think we should get some numbers, It's nice to be self-contained on your own well. That way, we're just worried about us and not another group.
Yeah, because we had talked about the idea of supplying the park with a new pump in exchange for access to the water. I don't know, how do you feel about that? I mean, what you're saying basically is explore the idea of being independent of that
I think we
with a
want to
well.
get some.
Because we had talked
estimate
about
on-
that too, which.
Right.
Yep.
Want to get estimates on what it would take to do that, what it would take to drill our own.
The well issue, with the water in town, it's gonna turn the building all kinds of different colors. That's what I'm.
Yeah, I mean, ideally, you wouldn't have the sprinklers hitting the building, but they're gonna hit the building. And if the
It would look like.
rust over there is any indication, I mean, I guess it depends on the depth of the well, right? So if you do a point well, that's not gonna draw the same, I mean, I don't know what that is over there. But I would assume if it's pulling iron like that, it's gotta be
I think it's a
deep.
drilled, I think
Yeah.
it's a drilled well, and that's hit or miss, and we could treat it. I mean, the sprinkler head should be able to be adjusted so they're not hitting the building.
Yeah, but I mean, my point is if you do a point well, it's really just,
Groundwater.
it's groundwater, so you don't typically get the same kind of concentration of minerals and whatnot in it that cause that kind of staining.
I mean, we did see in the borings, we saw excellent materials here at significant depths. I think the water table was at like 15 feet, but we had all gravel
Yeah.
down that far.
Yeah, I mean, it's also the type of thing where you can check it out and see,
Yeah.
before you actually commit to doing it.
We actually went through this exercise 4 years ago. We got prices for shallow wells and deep wells for the library. And we opted to tie into to the parks. But, maybe it's a scenario that we go ahead and drill a well. You're probably talking between $9,000 and $10,000. And then we tie into the Parks Department in the event that Moon Pond kind of gets low. If we stop using that water supply, maybe we can assist the parks and that feeds some from the well. You're not gonna be able to do a lot of it from the well, but you might be able to do, watering, once a week. Keep it
Kind of the same water, isn't it?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, you're taking
Not as
one.
deep.
Yeah, no, but I'm talking about shallow, but.
Yeah.
So I have a couple filters on our irrigation system, and other than the mailbox post that just, is right there in the main box, we don't have any real coloration. My neighbor does.
Yep.
And,
Is yours a deep well?
yeah.
Yeah. So there's
But
ways to.
I have to clean that filter every week practically.
Oh, boy, yeah.
So,
Yeah, that was kind of the whole point of using the city water was to
Yeah, that's what we have.
right.
dodge all that, but then there's the ongoing cost of the water itself, so, I mean, I'm open to the idea of exploring it more.
I think we
It
have
doesn't
to.
hurt to have some options with it.
Just to give you an idea, and I know Aaron's aware of this, that, over at the library and the old townhouse, which is a pretty big area, it costs us $5,000 a year for the water from town. Town water is very expensive. And so I would assume this is probably about half that size, so it may not be as bad as we think. But so $2,500 a year, I'm guessing, I don't know.
It's gonna be in that,
And
by payback.
It might be worth it to stay with what you got, I don't know, but see what happens. Of course, you're only watering, you know, maybe 5 months out of the year, something like that anyways. So, something to think about.
Yeah, they had the water on here like 24/7 for a while trying to get it
Yeah.
going.
Oh,
Yeah.
there you go. That's why you had $3,000.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, anything else? All right, so we will wait to hear from you regarding the next meeting. And that's pretty much it. We're good with that in terms of that timeframe. With that, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.